live chat. Welcome to live chat. Make sure that you chat live about live chat. Good morning. Hello. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm having a great day. It's like Christmas and then Easter, you know? The Easter Bunny came. You gotta love it, bro. That was my egg. Bro, I thought eggs stayed the same size. I did. I thought eggs all stayed the same size, but this egg grew. This egg was like a good hefty chicken egg, and now this egg is an ostrich egg. You know? It's the weirdest egg. The world's weirdest egg, you know? Typically an egg stays, right? The bird lays the egg, and then the little baby comes up out the egg. That didn't happen. This egg grew overnight. It grew overnight. So, from what I can gather, the dude that, you know, had no problem fucking blowing me up all over everything, accusing me of fucking crazy shit, doxed my wife on the barest insinuation that I have a picture of him. He deleted his whole subreddit and blocked me on Discord. So I guess so this is what it's come down to. Let's cover it. He didn't dox my wife, did nothing wrong. And because I'm telling him that I plan to do the exact same not wrong thing to him, he's blocked me everywhere and trying desperately to scrub his online presence from my eyes. And this was a horrible decision that he made, right? Because he asked all of these fucking weirdos to close down the sub that they love. He made them do that. And so now all these fucking weirdos that he's collected, they're mad. Not at me. I didn't close down the sub. I didn't report it. I didn't flag it. They're mad at him. And so my egg went from a chicken egg to an ostrich egg today. What's homie hiding? Just a goofy ass motherfucker. That's it. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, bro. Just a goober that never ever should have opened his mouth talking about how anybody looks. That's it. It's not like I found some fucking mile-long rap sheet on the dude or something that I'm sitting on. I just got pics. Got a few messages that how he acts behind the scenes, right? And I got his name and where he works. That's it. Their circle jerk Reddit got deleted. Yeah, it got scrubbed completely. And from my understanding is it happened on his orders because he was afraid of what was there for whatever reason. Probably because it appended to him all of the nastiness that he posted there. And he knows now I know who he is, and he doesn't want people in his real life to find out what a shitbag he is as soon as has a little anonymity on the internet. but it's too late. You can't scrub it. You can't scrub it. What happens on the internet stays on the internet, bro. I've got it all. I've got 100% of it. So it's like, and like, I gotta be honest with you. How would you expect a creepy fucking stalker to react to having their identity exposed? See, one of the contentions I had with him was that he's a creep, fucking stalker, anonymous Joe that likes talking about other people's personal life, but would shit his pants if I had any of his information, right? That's how a stalker acts. A stalker wants that anonymity. They want to be able to look and fuck with your life with no skin in the game.
They're trying to make you look like a crazy person too by scrubbing all the shit that he was provoking you with.
Right. They're trying to remove all of that shit. But the problem is I have it. I'm not a retard. Right? All that shit is still sitting right there. Just waiting. And it's all appended to his ass. But I have a feeling we're not going to hear much from Alchemist Soil anymore, because he blocked me on Discord. He was fine to have a talk with me. But apparently because I'm planning on, someday in the future, not doxing him, like he not doxed my wife, because he posted a bunch of stupid identifying information in a public place. So I'm not going to dox him like he didn't dox my wife. All of a sudden, I'm blocked everywhere, doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Trying desperately to scrub his online presence. What happened, bro? What happened to them big fucking nuts? What happened to sending your minions all over Reddit to post a fucking 5-second clip of a 5-hour fucking thing? What happened? Power word, real name was all it took? I told him to reach out to me on Discord and that I'd send him everything I had. He blocked me. I got nothing to hide. It's all public information. It's just my public information now. Publicly available to anybody who was paying attention. And you know what? I'll let him know. I'll let him know something so he knows I'm not bluffing. Because I heard he's trying to tell people that I've got nothing. Nice sword. That's all I have to say about it.
I had a good day. I only got poked once.
You only got vamped once?
Yeah.
So your chug-a-lug worked.
Yeah. I didn't finish the whole thing.
But you got close?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? That's what you got to do every time you know you're going in for a blood draw.
Gotta drink half a gallon of water the best I can.
Yep. Yep. Because the last time you went for blood work, you came back with both your arms taped up.
Yeah, and they drew from my lower arm.
Yeah, they got you here.
Painful.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude. The nuked subreddit tells me they already believe you. Well, that's the thing, is like, from what I hear, in the background he's claiming I've got nothing, but in the foreground he's forcing them to delete everything that they've done. Like, he basically forced them to nuke. This is my understanding. So yeah, power word, real name is all it takes for some fucking people, dude. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think your real fucking name is doxing you. But that's neither here nor there. That's a philosophical point rather than anything. But that's all it takes. So you're willing to stand on all that fucking garbage ass business on your channel? But as soon as the threat of your face being appended to it comes, you start disappearing? I mean, you were perfectly happy, remember? You said, oh yeah, a couple of weeks, we'll have another talk. Well, you want to plan it up? Do it on your territory. You know, you could have your own fucking mod if you want. Mute me up. Wonder if they can mute me fast enough before I get your name out. Wonder if they can disappear me quick enough when I change my camera to your pic. No, I'm not going to do it that way. I will promise you, I will give you my solemn oath, I will not release anything during any talk that we have in the future. Not during the talk. It'll be somewhere between them. He said he'd be totally fine if I did this. Yeah. He said if I could find this non-existent information that he never posted in public, that it wouldn't even be wrong if I published it. Take it that the worm has turned, as it always does. The wheel of karma is unforgiving. And the worm always turns. And the fact that it happened just like I said it would, and that is not me being fucking Paul Stradamus. That's just me. I have tons of experience with these snarky anti-fan communities, bro. I've been fucking fire hose fighting these guys for way longer than most content creators have. It's only now starting to get news and shit. Bro, I was waist deep in that shit in 2016. 2016, I was dealing with anti-fan / snark bullshit. So the only reason I knew exactly how this shit was going to go down was because I've done it before. This isn't the first snark subreddit that's gone poof because of me. And I don't use the fucking shitty angle either. I don't report these places to fucking Reddit unless they're just like legit breaking copyright stuff. You know what I mean? Reposting whole shits or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'll take that down. But like these snark subreddits, that's not how you deal with them. You know how you deal with them? Directly. You get them to where they're chuffed up enough in their own little tribe that one of them puts a pinky toe in reality, and then you've got him. Then the snare is complete. Then you've got his voice. All you need is his face. And then anybody that looks at his picture and hears his voice is going to know what he said and what he did. That's it. That's how you poof these things from existence. That's how you check paper bags. Because some people think anonymity means protection. There's no such thing as anonymity on the internet, especially not if you're going to share your own fucking identity in a public place. Weren't you harping on that to me? Aren't those your words? Always lie on the internet? Here's what I would recommend. Either always lie or never lie. Always lie or be forthcoming about yourself. Those are the two things that you can do, right? Those are the two ways that you can operate on the internet and treat it like a little hobby or whatever. The reason you like people have been watching me for so long, right? The reason that if you've been watching me for 10 years, you know so much about me is because I'm not ashamed of my life.
You're willing to stand behind your own words.
Yeah, I'm willing to stand behind my words, every one that I utter. I don't take down shit. I don't hide behind shit. I leave my shit out there. I stand on my own business, and I am my own person. And I have no shame in my game. There's nothing. There's no skeleton in my closet. It just doesn't exist. I put everything out there because I care about the truth. I do. And I care about people when they hear me say things. I care about them knowing that there's a real person behind what's being said. A real person. Person with a family. I brought my father. You know? A dude, like, that's a complex relationship to invite people to look at. You know what I mean? There's no shame in my game. My dad's talked to me on this shit. You know, that's my secret sauce. Right? And I know it's a tough one. Just don't be a dirtbag. Don't be a shit weasel. And then you got nothing to worry about. Everything all right? Oh, everything's great, Pranav. Everything's fucking peachy keen. I don't know if you watched the last stream at all, Pranav, but you might want to check it out. I don't want to get into the whole thing again. We're right at the back end of talking about it again, but suffice it to say, what I said was going to happen, happened. Happened just how I said it would happen. Disgruntled fucking retards from the very community that he built. Someone already got tired of him? No. I know his name. I know where he works. I have his pictures. Oh, I was thinking it'd at least be like half a year, because I thought they were going to ride high on getting a clip out there of me saying the F slur a bunch of times and shit. And dude he did succeed in getting under my skin, but dude, the tortoise and the hare, man, I'm telling you. So you're threatening someone? No, I'm not. I'm not threatening someone with anything other than publicly available information being appended to their private account, which isn't doxing, by the way, according to this person. Did it to my wife, who's sitting right here. So that's it. Yep. Public info that they have said multiple times that they would be 100% fine for me to post, because it would be public info if such info exists. Turns out such info does exist. Subspino, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any coffee? Do you want cold coffee or hot coffee?
Do I have cold coffee?
Yeah.
You made cold brews?
I bought one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I'll do a cold brews.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of nice.
You have your mitts or
I
no?
did, yeah, I took them. Well, like I said, like we talked about, P, there is a God, and her name is Karma. And she always comes around. Sometimes when you least expect her, but I find at the times where you most should expect her. I'll give you basically because I have this public information. Their whole little community over there has torn itself apart. There's infighting in the ranks. There's civil war at the gates, and it's a free for all. It's a free for all. It's every man for himself, dude, and it's a bunch of fucking weird fucks, tiny dick dude, and just 8 different shades of furry and 14 different levels of autism diagnoses. I mean, it's a shit Sunday over there right now. I gotta imagine. Oh, thank you, baby dough. This is pretty fucking delicious looking. Oh, are you guys jealous of my Cinema Row Starbucks mug? This is my official Starbucks Cinema Row. This is how gentlemen drink their iced coffee.
Okay.
It's delicious. Want to try some? Why didn't you get you one?
Because I like hot coffee a little more, and I already had 2 cups this morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a demonic symbol. Cinema Row? Wait, you're telling me Cinema Row is demonic? Hold on. That is a demonic symbol. No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. Country Queen. Sorry, I didn't read your name. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is a Cinema Row. Oh, Starbucks. Oh, this is a demonic symbol. Oh. Okay, I agree. But the demonic energy just makes the coffee taste so good. I'd sell my soul for a cup of that coffee. We need Satan's coffee shop.
Oh, yeah.
The devil's coffee shop. You'll sell your soul for a cup of our Joe. If we found the right city, that would blow the fuck up. That would blow the fuck up. It would have to be a city where the religious right was not in charge.
Because you'd have to get it approved by the state and the city and yada, yada, yada.
All I'm talking about is just using devil imagery with a coffee shop. Just historical movie photos and devil masks and paint everything black. Have the fucking pentagram up on the menu. Dude, my idea face is fucking, dude, because like that's I just had another one of my patented $1 billion Paul's ego ideas that you have to have $1 billion in order to make it really work. Speaking of buying shit, thanks to Mindy, 2 DFF shirts. Oh, shit. Do you mind signing? Oh, of course, bro. Of course, dude. And no, signing, if you're coming to the meetup, that's what the meetup's for, bro. In a lot of ways. I mean, that's what we spend a lot of time doing is signing things for people, chatting. And of course, dude, you're my friend, so, we'll spend some time. And, I will tell you that, Pranav, the fact that, well, I don't know. I just appreciate you for who you are. That's all I got to say. I just appreciate your friendship. It's very kind of you to buy my merch, even though I would fucking toss you and your wife a shirt. You know what I mean? It's very kind of you to buy a ticket, even though I'd fucking bring your ass. I'd throw a VIP pass right around your neck, and then throw one around Peter's neck, and we'd all go to the green room. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it works. But I just want to let you know that. Like, I don't ever offer that stuff if it's like gonna be a huge imposition of me for it to happen, but the fact that you like, you support what I do, right? Like beyond just, you know, anyway, I just thanks for that. Well, yeah, dude, and well, that's the thing is like, I could scoot you guys, you just always been a good friend. You don't want it for free, how about a discount? Whatever it is. Whatever it is, player. We'll figure it out. But that like my whole thing is you're kind of a mensch for that. That's a cool thing that you done. It's a cool thing that you done. Friends come in all sizes, yes, it's true. All the colors of the rainbow from mauve to blue. Some like to pitch and some like to catch. Because, because, because. Friends come in all sizes, friends come in all sizes, friends come in all sizes. Yes, it's true. How rich would you have to be to hire a blunt roller like Snoop Dogg hugs? I was talking about that with my wife not like a couple weeks ago. I can't even remember what the context was, but I talked to her about my like that is one of those rich dude luxuries that I'd probably indulge in. I'd probably do it. Why the fuck not? I think Snoop Dogg said that he paid his blunt roller like $100K a year or some shit. Which, if you're like Snoop Dogg's level, that's not a whole lot of money. But you got to be at Snoop Dogg's level to pay somebody $100,000 a year to roll up weed for you. And that's not all the guy does. The guy just takes care of Snoop's weed. So he brings the weed, makes sure Snoop always has good weed. He rolls up a bunch of blunts for Snoop to have in the morning and then keeps his eye on it, keeps the blunts coming just the way Snoop likes the blunts, right? If Snoop's having a party, he gets all the blunts rolled for it and all the weed that put out for the party, right?
Do you think he travels with him to
the
voice and shit?
Yeah, 100%. Either he or somebody that works for him probably travels with Snoop. You know what I mean? The strain I'm dealing with now has completely changed my opinion of Keef. I officially hate Keef now. Oh, yeah, dude. So there are little tools that you can use. Keef is weird, bro. So you got to like a Keef chamber, right? Keef is weird. Number one, Keef is the most concentrated part of that terpene, and so it turns to oil when you heat it, and so it's sticky. So Keef is like best used sprinkled in, right? It's like you infuse a lot of the infused joints are rolled in Keef. And like just like doing up a whole Keef thing. Yeah, it burns super fast, yeah. I mean, it'll get you super stoned if you're hitting it quick back and forth, but it's best thrown in like as a topping, homie. A topping on your weed, right? Because that's what it is. It's just the dust that has come off of the weed, the super, super high, you know, THC, crystally little things that form on those buds, like the maximum sexual expression of the plant is really what it is, right? You've got a female plant, or is it I think male, or I don't know. I don't know which one that they use, honestly. I think it's a female plant that they use, but they deny it a male plant. And so the female plant gets stickier, looking for more pollen and for more distant mates, right? That's how they turn weed into like what it is now, which is like your average weed would have been considered hyper, like it would have been gas back in the day. You growing? No. If I was growing, I would know what sex of plant. You know, I don't know if you keep males or females. I just know that if you've got a mixed group, or you've got male and female plants, what happens is the male plant will pollinate the female plant, and then the female plant doesn't have to keep developing all those sexually suggestive hormone responses, right? Because she's now fertilized and can throw off seeds. So the plant goes from fruiting to seeding. And a lot of really bad weed back in the 90s had a ton of seeds in it because it was like an outdoor grow, and whoever did it just had a few plants out in the middle of nowhere, didn't know what they were doing, didn't know how to separate males from females. And so the bud was fucking whack. You don't want the plant to breed. As soon as it's like you're edging the plants, right? And then you never let them get it, because when the time comes, you cut it all down. No, it's true though. Does they like to be edged? Well, they can't tell us, but if you look at the plants and how beautiful they get when you edge them, have you seen like some of these like super high-end platinum level grow ops? Bro, those plants look like something off of another planet or something. I mean, they're just beautiful. Every color of the rainbow in them too. Like the whole Roigi Biv in one nug if you go in enough. You know what I mean? It's just like it's beautiful. So yeah. If you believe that the expression of that beauty is the plant being happy, then sure, yeah, they seem happy. Right? They're robust and healthy and
they got
full of
the
life.
Like,
yeah,
because they did those experiments and they found some plants scream. They got to see if the buds are screaming.
Yeah, or if they're humming, if they're vibing. Were Neanderthals stupid? No. Not how I've come to understand Neanderthals, no. They're actually an incredibly sensitive species. Not stupid. Maybe not as savvy as we are, but intelligence is a strange thing, right? When you compare human to human, the standard ways of measuring intelligence, it starts to go right out the window if you randomize the human, because intelligence is different depending on the society that you're living in. You need to know different things to live in the United States than you need to know to live in Uganda. A lot of racists and race realists will point at like, oh, the African subcontinent has a lower IQ. And it's like, IQ was created to measure the intelligence level of Western students that go to Western public schools based on Western family values and a laundry list of other fucking things.
Well, the thing is, only Europeans have Neanderthal DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
If Neanderthals are stupid, we're stupid.
Yeah. But likely what I think happened is that Neanderthals were maybe smaller family group types. That seems to be what the Neanderthal sites that we found seems to imply. It's like maybe at a time when humans were really starting to conglomerate into larger groups, strength in numbers and all of that. Neanderthals never really did. But the fact that I sit here with Neanderthal DNA lets you know that they didn't disappear. Like, I was taught in school that we killed the Neanderthals. We being, Homo sapiens sapiens. I was taught that. I was taught that there was like some Neanderthal war and we killed them all because they was different from us. But the truth of the matter is we interbred with them. Like, proof's in the pudding, bro. I'm the pudding. And so are you if you're white at all. Are modern humans quick to judge our ancestors as dumber than we are wrongly? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, one of the most fascinating things about learning about, because like I'm super fascinated with like Sumerian history. Just the basic stuff that we know about their society and how it operated is super fascinating to me because it disabuses me of a notion that I had since I was a little kid. That very notion, right? That people, back in the day were dumb fucking cave people who could barely put two and two together. And it's like, no, these motherfuckers invented mathematics. They were way smarter than you, so shut up, But no, human beings are hyper intelligent, and going back in time doesn't change that, right? You go back to our early civilizational history, and you're going to run into the same kind of fucking geniuses you see running around, right? Just different set of selective pressures and a different technological level as a starting point. Right? That doesn't mean dumb. That means didn't have the tools that you have.
How do you feel about the guns, germs, and steel guy? That's that's the main difference between civilization progress is guns, germs, and steel.
I read the book in college.
Yeah.
And I did not like the book.
No.
But it was also it was assigned to the class by a sociology professor. I ended up dropping his fucking class. He was so insane. The dude was like Alex Jones, but if Alex Jones was a Nazi who was in charge of a concentration camp called his classroom. Like, the dude was out in left field talking crazy shit, brooked no talk back from anybody, and was basically going to sell us on the Illuminati, and we were going to have to figure out how to navigate his paranoia to get an A in the class. I was like, fuck this. It was the craziest shit. But I did write, the first book that he assigned was Guns, Germs, and Steel. And I don't remember much about it, I'll be honest with you. But what I do remember is those as benchmarks for civilization, I think, are just entirely like, I feel like it's almost future biased or like present biased. Because once again, measuring the health and well-being and apex of a civilization by its development of these three things. So what were the guns, germs, and steel of the Sumerian Empire then?
Well, I think he's saying more that that's why some civilizations conquered and colonized other civilizations. I don't think he's necessarily saying that the civilizations without that were lesser. They just didn't do as well in terms of war and colonization.
Right.
I think that's more of the point. Like I
like I said,
kind of the more documentary version of it, so I think the messaging was a little clearer.
Well, and like I said, that's filtered through 20 plus years ago in a college class that I didn't even finish. You know what I mean? So, but I did read the book. The book wasn't super long.
Of it was that he's saying that that's why some civilizations conquered other civilizations and have more wealth and yada yada yada.
The one thing that guy gave to me was Ishmael.
Yeah.
Because right before I decided to drop his class, I went out and bought the second book for that semester after Guns, Germs, and Steel, which was Ishmael. And I was intrigued by this dude. I just didn't want to navigate his mind to try and get a grade in his class. So I was like, I'm going to read this. And that book was a page turner for me. So maybe I missed the point with Guns, Germs, and Steel because I was just so fucking shell-shocked being in his class.
Yeah.
But maybe he wasn't as crazy as I thought he was. Maybe he was a dude like me, you know, who just kind of like was critiquing civilization and didn't want to hear anybody's pussy shit because he wanted to drill something
Yeah,
home.
maybe you guys clash with just abrasive personalities, maybe.
No, he clashed with everybody. He started the first class by it was the first day, and he walked over as soon as like I think it was 2 o'clock or whatever when the shit started, locked the door, and there were like probably 10 kids that were just milling around outside, and they were like, he pulled down a thing, and he was like, if you're not in the class and in your seat at the time of the starting of the class, you're locked out and you don't get your instruction. I was like, oh, fuck. Whew, here we go. So, yeah, he was a bit of an abrasive immediately, because that's like the first day of class. People are like figuring out their schedule.
Yeah.
Nope. He was that type. But I think about that guy a lot. I think about him as a character.
Yeah.
You know how memory turns minor interactions with people into kind of mythology, right? I think about him a lot. That fucking professor that was just done with the world. Done with these fucking kids and their lateness and these goddamn Gen X fucking little weasels. So an archaeologist the same as an Egyptologist. From what I understand, an Egyptologist is an archaeologist or a multidisciplinary archaeologist that will do archaeology in the Nile River Valley and the Valley of the Kings and stuff like that, right? Based on Egyptian history, and also specializes in the unique history of Egypt. Egypt, I wish I knew the numbers because it's staggering, right? It's like we when I was a kid, we were so steeped in European history when I was a kid, right? And Europe had something like 10, I can't remember how it's said, but like it had like 10 great what would you call like when a king reigns? 10 great, not dynasties, because that's like the king and all his family. But like there's like 100 great kings in the history of Europe, and the history of Egypt, there's 100 dynasties of kings. Something like that. So yeah, there's something like 100 historical kings in the history of Europe. And there are 100 dynasties of kings in the history of Egypt. Something like that, right? I don't know if the numbers are right, but that's the level of historical difference in those regions in terms of available, observable, findable historical evidence of civilization. There's way more in the Nile River Valley and the Fertile Crescent there than there is anywhere else in the fucking world. Maybe with the exception of, well, see, the problem is like none of the other places where there's a lot of stuff that might be undiscovered have evidence of massive amounts of people over generations there, right? Like a lot of the places that they find in South America that would have been contemporary with Egypt, even with the expounding knowledge of how big their civilization and advanced their civilization was, they wouldn't hold a candle. So it's like they came after almost. The Egyptians were something else, man. What? OD.
Super early, so.
Huh?
That's got up super early.
Oh, yeah. I love you, baby.
I love you too.
Oh, hun. Egypt is as old to ancient Rome as ancient Rome is old to us. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The fucking mind blowing. Talking about 2,000 years. Yeah. 2,000 years farther back than Rome. And they were building pyramids and shit. It's just super interesting area of the world, right? And a lot of the truth about, you know, human history is right there, just underneath all that sand, waiting to be discovered. Every once in a while, somebody finds some big shit that just completely changes how we think. Like, you guys ever learn anything about like the expedition that found Tut's tomb? King Tut, right? Everybody knows King Tut. Probably the most amazing cache of high level ceremonial artifacts in the history of history, right? We're talking the mask. King Tut's golden mask, priceless. Craftsmanship is absolutely insane. Just an absolutely unspoiled tomb. There was nothing like it. And what we found was just an intricate society and just layers and layers of just absolutely ancient practice brought to bear, right? At the highest level of artistry and artisanship. We're talking about the finest things that humanity could produce. And it's baffling to think that those people didn't have running water. You know what I mean? If you look at them from that civilizational standpoint, they lived like cavemen, according to some people's standard of living. But they were creating art that I doubt you could even try it. Yeah, we've talked about Göbekli Tepe here. And Göbekli Tepe is super interesting because you're right, it predates known. Now, here's the thing. Egyptian civilization, if it's like every other civilization, and I would venture to say that it's taken a lot of similar paths, it's probably built on a previous civilization that might have been built on a previous civilization. I mean, who knows, right? The more we discover, the more we expand. So, Iran also has a similarly old Neolithic period. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fascinating to me. But humans are fascinating to me. I got to go for 4th of July. I took a trip way up into the fucking mountains, man. Tiny little town. Population in the hundreds, the low hundreds. And stayed right by just this beautiful, idyllic river. And I had this beautiful mountain range behind me. And the little town, right, was kind of a tourist attraction around the 4th, as a lot of little towns are. And so it was just absolutely like busting with people. And was roaming around the little town and stuff. And I got to sit down for a while and just people watch. And man, that is one of my favorite fucking things to do, I gotta tell you. I love people watching, man. People are just like infinitely fascinating creatures to me. It's crazy that King Tut only died in his late teens, but his name is so well known. Well, his name is only well known, right? Nobody knew who Tutankhamun was until they found his tomb. He's so well known because he's the most well preserved ancient dynastic tomb that we've yet found. It's not saying there's not others out there. That's kind of the thing that I think tempts so many people into Egyptology, to bring it full circle, right? To what Hugs talked about. It's like it was untouched by robbers, untouched by the ravages of time. It was literally a time capsule. And there are like I said, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of dynasties of kings, and a lot of fucking sand, and a lot of areas that are buried under sand dunes and shit that might have ancient fucking era tombs filled with this type of shit, untouched in the same manner, right? I think that, like, fortune and glory and being the person that discovers that stuff, I think there's an allure to that. Well, the desert at the time that the Egyptians started settling in the Nile River Valley was not the same as it is now. The a lot of what is now Sahara Desert, right, was just absolutely verdant, fertile wetlands. It's like almost swampy when people first started settling the area, right? So that lets you know the amount of fucking time that's gone by since human beings started making big things in that area. How much of that shit could be just under the dunes, man? Sand blasts away at everything that's exposed to it. Well, here's the thing. One of the reasons that the Egyptians used limestone is because limestone is particularly resistant to sandblasting. Like, it keeps its shape, it keeps its form, right? They were building shit to endure forever. Not like, oh, what a big building, and then they tear it down and build a new building. No, no, no. They didn't have that mentality. They were building a building that was going to be there forever as a testament. So that's one of the weird fucking things about the Egyptian kind of pharaohs and stuff is, like, there's a lot of half-finished monuments because these pharaohs were always trying to one-up the pharaoh that came before them, right? Pharaoh that came before them had a mausoleum that was this big, and so they wanted one this big, right? And so they would, have their people start building this giant fucking mausoleum, and then they'd croak. And all of a sudden, like, nobody wants to continue funding this project for a dead pharaoh. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that shit. Yeah. And then there's the bent pyramid, which is like there were several tries at making a pyramid structure that didn't really work out. And they're not geometrically perfect, and so they look a little wonk and shit. And there are some pharaohs, that's their legacy, right? But like the economy of that area, it's so wild, right? If you think about it, because a lot of people, the Bible will tell you that that area was just filled with slaves. But what the historical record tells us is that it was filled with people that worked jobs. It was filled with artisans. It was filled with people who traded their labor for money and took that money back to where they lived, right? So the average Egyptian citizen's life was about bartering for their labor. They would spend a certain amount of time away from home working. They'd get paid. They would bring that money back to their hometown, and they would feed their family with it and build onto their house with it. And then when the time came, another work call came, back to the Valley of the Kings it was, to quarry limestone, right? So there was this huge monument building economy in the Nile River Valley that fed this huge demand for artisans. And so it actually created an economy that fed those people for so well that it endured longer than any empire that we know of. 4,000 years of Egyptian history plus is wild. Oh, ancient Egypt was, I mean, beyond ahead of, but you think about the amount of architectural expertise that would be developed in a 4,000-year-old society with an economy that's a labor economy that's largely driven by monument building. It's like an alien race almost. That's why people think aliens built fucking Egypt. That's why people are astonished at how advanced they were, because they can't conceive of 4,000 years of a civilization pursuing one goal that, you know, it seems strange to us, right? We don't build things like that. Why would we? And they did it for 4,000 years, almost uninterrupted. What the fuck? You know? It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how true all that is, but I've heard that, like, the pyramids, if you look at Orion's belt, right? So you got Sirius, and then the other two stars are in there, Betelgeuse and whoever it is, right? They'll live in that little 3-star, you know, Orion's belt. They say that, like, the 3 pyramids at Giza, the Great Pyramids, are aligned to those stars. Right? So they're laid out in a way that if you overlaid them over Orion's belt, they line up, right? Which is interesting, but it just shows that, like, because if you look at, like, the Mayan civilization, the Olmec, the Toltec, the Mexica, they were very accomplished astronomers. They tracked the stars and the movement of the stars and the changing of the seasons, and they had a predictive model that was correct 1,000 years after their civilization ended, which is kind of wild. So, you know, people just underestimate vastly what our ancestors got up to and why and how, you know. Hey, don't you come over here, you little shit fly. I don't like you. Okay, I told him once. I like the flies here. The flies around here are amenable to argument. The flies where I come from, they don't listen. That fly, he buzzed, and I told him, hey, look. And he was like, oh, sorry about that. Gone. Well, I don't think some of it is coincidence, right? Maybe that is the latitude is the same as the speed of light in meters or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's probably fucking coincidence. But like the Orion's belt thing, I don't think that's coincidence. I was just talking you up, dude, in your back. Hey, don't make me go get the biscuit because I'll fucking do it. If you're gonna be a pester bug, I'll go get the assault rifle. You know what assault rifle is? Oh, you're just gonna rub your little fucking hands together, huh? Okay. Well, you stay right there. I'm gonna show everybody your hubris. Look at you. See this fucker? You got no business being there. And he knows it. There's no food out here. Yeah, look at him. Oh, he's looking right at you guys. You don't give a fuck. You don't really care, do you? You never did care, did you? What are you planning? What's he building in there? All right. So I'm going to give you a chance, bud. Yeah. Why don't you shoo? No, that don't mean come over here and buzz me. Okay, he's gone. Spy drone. The balls on that fly. He doesn't know I got the biscuit downstairs, though. He doesn't know. He doesn't know I keep a switch. Lil Polly keep a switch. That's my street name. That's my gang name. You know what I mean? In the streets or whatever. However you kids say it. Lil Polly keep a switch. Bro, I wouldn't lie to you. If I'm lying, I'm dying, bro. If I'm lying, I'm dying. I would not lie to you, bro. If I am lying, I'm dying. Is Gavin Newsom a good governor? Is he... no. I mean, Gavin Newsom is kind of a prick. So, no. He's not a good governor. And yes, he's still the governor of California. Gavin Newsom let the state burn. He let the state sink deeper into a water crisis that he did absolutely nothing to abate. Yeah, Gavin Newsom is a shitheel. Gavin Newsom basically forcibly ejected a bunch of fucking homeless people from LA County, tore down all their tents, went out there and rolled up his sleeves and helped tear down the fucking tent cities and shit to prove how fucking conservative he was. Didn't do a fucking thing for the homeless. Could have built them some homes. You know what I mean? Could have provided some drug treatment programs because, you know, that is a profound amount of homeless people or mentally ill people or drug addicts or both. Could have provided some fucking safety nets for those types of people so they don't slip through the cracks in California. But he spent his time flexing like a big fucking macho man or whatever. Let the whole state burn to the ground. I mean, I lived through that shit, bro. You can't, it's incontrovertible. I know it's not big news right now, but you guys remember like 3-4 years ago, California was burning. Well, it wasn't that long ago that LA fucking burned down. Half of Malibu's ash now, right? You guys remember that shit just a few months ago? Yeah, that was on Gavin Newsom's watch. Gavin Newsom let that happen. Gavin Newsom allowed PG&E to keep maintaining these high altitude fucking old electric poles. I shit you guys not, bro. The last time I grew up in the Central Valley of California, the last time I drove up in the foothills, right? A lot of places that I would have driven through, by the way, have burned now. You know what I saw? It would blow your fucking mind. About 20 miles outside of my hometown, in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, it's a bunch of little towns, right? And I was driving between those little towns. I was on a pleasure drive. It's a beautiful area. And I started noticing something. The telephone poles, right, had a weird shape. Like there were poles, but then on the top there were these like globes, almost not globes, but like things. They were glass almost. It looked like on top, and I was like, "The fuck is that?" And so I'm going, and there's just rows of this, right? It's like, right? All in between each one, there's no tension in the line, right? They just kind of like hang. They're not hanging on the ground, but they're like, you can tell they don't keep tension. And at the top of them, it looked like there was glass, like a glass bulb type of thing, or a big thick piece of glass. 3 of them. Does anybody know what those were? By the way, these were live power lines that were feeding towns. This was just 10, 15 years ago, maybe, right? Live power lines that are feeding towns in places that are now ash. They're now the memory of what used to be a town with a forest. Do you know what they are? About 100-year-old light poles, or telephone poles. Glass insulators is exactly what it was. Clear glass insulators. This was in 2010 at the latest. It might have been like 2012, 2013. So Winston, how old are those glass insulators? Some what? Yeah. I noticed that the ones out there were like, I call them, my dad was in the glass industry, so they were flint glass, right? So the clear glass. I could tell that they were like real thick pieces of glass. There were 3 on top of each pole that the wires ran through. Hemingway 42s from the 1910s to the 30s. So this is what I'm saying. So if what I'm saying is true, and I'm accurately describing what I saw in 2010, these towns that are now ashes were being fed by poles from 1910, possibly. So over 100-year-old poles at that point. And now these towns are ashes. And the company that maintained those poles still maintains them. Uh-oh. And this is the company that charges you maximum rates and keeps making massive, massive profits every year. And they've got poles up in tinderbox areas of the foothills and up in the mountains from 1910. Just sitting there, humming away. Did you say Artie was a better governor? No. Go look at the wildfires during Arnold's administration. Go look at the average income in California. No, Arnold was a shitbag. Profit over people, exactly. None of that changed. Arnold didn't go like, we are going to clean up all these poles from 1910. You know why there were poles from 1910 way out there in the foothills and shit, by the way? Because rich people hadn't decided to move to that area yet. As soon as a rich person moves into an area like that, they start pulling strings, and those poles get replaced with nice brand new things. No expense. But because it was just fucking normal ass fucking small town folk living out there, they were perfectly happy to let those people's whole lives, their little farmsteads, their little dreams, their retirement homes, burn to the fucking ground for profit. The year that those towns burned down due to poorly maintained power lines, the CEO made record profits, guaranteed. You know why? Because they make record profits every fucking year. That's why. See, these vampires get my blood up, bro. These motherfuckers are really just the scum of the planet, bro. All I want to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. Somebody get on it. We need an AI dirty cover of they don't really care about us. All I want to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. Well, my Viking friend. I wish I could tell you that I believed it was different anywhere, but it doesn't shock me to hear that it's the same old hand in glove, even in the wild and woolly fucking Northlands. The reach of the capitalist mindset has truly spread to the globe now, and we're reaping the whirlwind, man. We sowed the fucking wind. Now we're reaping the whirlwind, bro. Sea is fucking revolting against us. This upcoming hurricane season is going to be capital W wild. This goes back to holding politicians accountable. Instead, we keep electing them. It's an old, dude, by this point, dude, it's an old discussion. Oh, dude. Oh, man. Yeah. On my way. I mean, it's just worth talking about. Earlier I talked about how for the 4th of July holiday, I went to a place way up in the mountains that has a complete fireworks ban and a burn ban in effect because it's a tinderbox kind of place. They're protecting the forests there because Dinor is just a fucking wreck for like 48 hours after, during 4th of July and surrounding it because he's a dog and he doesn't understand what those explosions are. So me and Amelia, we took him and Cricket and we went up in the wilderness and just had a fucking ball. But when we were driving up there, man, it was the gnarliest shit fire-wise, and I'm from fucking California, bro. That's the thing, is I'm not even in California. It was the gnarliest fire that I've ever been close to. Like on the road, ever, in the history of ever. It was wild. We started seeing, so we knew that there was like wildfires in the area of the road we were using, but we were following the updates and they hadn't closed it and shit. So it was like something out of a fucking movie, bro. We saw the smoke and I was like, it was starting to get dusk. And I could see that big smear of brown smoke. And I was like, there's the wildfire. And she was like, oh, yeah. As we get closer to it, because the light is getting into that twilight kind of time, you could see the ridge light up orange. And I was like, the whole fucking ridge is on fire. She's like, yeah. We go around it, come around the back of this thing. Bro, we were right next to just trees burning, like embers falling on the fucking car. I was like, holy shit. Nobody there, right? It was like they hadn't even started fighting it. You could see it for miles. Dude, I had to tell myself, don't look in the rear view because I had to keep my eyes on the road, because in the rear view, it looked like something out of a fucking disaster movie. A mountain on fire is how I would describe it. And we got up there, and hours later, they closed that road, and it still hasn't opened. So we had to find an alternate route home. The whole fucking nine, bro. That was the gangliest fire. And it happened just 2 days ago. It was July 3rd. I drove through it. Yeah, it was like Armageddon. It was crazy. Completely uncontrolled. There was no fire trucks, no closures. It was like they hadn't even gotten to it yet. And it was just blazing out of control. It was like, fuck. So, yeah, there's a lot to account for, man. And as I was coming down out of those mountains, I couldn't help but notice that, you know, the area that I was in has a lot of trails. It's known for biking and hiking and rafting. It's a big river mountain area. So as I'm coming down out of those mountains, there's all these trailheads. You know, you pass by these wilderness trailheads. Every last one of them overflowing with cars the next day, right? So just miles away, right? Just, you know, maybe 80 miles from there, a whole mountain is burning. And then you have all these idiots running around in these tinderbox dry woods with all their dumb kids, right? And it's just like, if there's a real fire risk to this area, I'm not trying to be a fucking dick about it, but shouldn't we limit the amount of people? Because isn't every person a potential fucking fire hazard that goes up there? So the less that are going up there during a heavy fire season like this, especially when there's active wildfires, you'd think maybe the state would like close some of those gates and put on their website like, hey, due to severe fire risk, we're going to go ahead and close all these trailheads. Because I passed by, I'm not even kidding you guys, on my way down the mountain, I passed by probably like, I don't know, a dozen giant trailheads that were overflowing with cars, where they were spilled out onto the street, parked alongside the highway for a fucking half mile. And just like every fucking person up there is a fire risk. All it takes is one moron and the whole forest burns, and they're trying to protect it. It's like, wait, I'm not trying to be a killjoy, because that's what parks are supposed to be for, but it's like, if there's a severe fire risk and a drought, maybe you close some of those trailheads. Maybe you start like doing passes and limit the amount of people that come up there and just pile up at these campgrounds and trailheads. I'm not talking about the LA fires. I'm talking about fires up here in Washington State. Fires that are, to my knowledge, currently still burning. And like I said, less than 100 miles away, you've got all these trailheads packed with fucking idiots, packed with people. Well, that's the thing, is like, they do these things. I don't know if you've heard of it, Jesse Hagen. They're called controlled burns. Have you heard this? Well, they will burn certain parts of the forest so that it can regenerate, and it lowers the fire risk for other parts of the forest and stuff. Yeah, they do that shit. They need to do that shit. Dude, passing by a bunch of dead timber, a bunch of stuff that like half burned, so now it's just like a stick of charcoal waiting to go up again. Right? You'd see multiple areas that had gone up in wildfires in the near past. And they're all just still sitting there waiting to go up again. Just a bunch of dead wood piled up amongst a bunch of half dead wood. And it's drought. It's drought in that area right now. So it's like, fuck. Oh. Cousin is a firefighter in Northern California, bro. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your cousin is safe. That is a rough job, and a thankless fucking job too. So, you know, give your cousin a pat on the back next time you're with him or something, and tell him that, like, there are, dude, people should appreciate the people that fight these fucking wildfires more, because they save people's homes, They save stretches of fucking beautiful woodlands, and they put their fucking lives on it. The red tape to pass a burn plan has become so thick, it now takes years just to perform those burns. Yeah, I mean, I think that the red tape should be removed from that, obviously. What do I know? Hey, you're so cute. You're too cute to boot. Too cute to boot. Too cute to boot. Too cute to poot. Well, I don't know if you know, but I think Alchemist Soil is chatting live about you right now. What? Where? Let me go get my phone. I'm very interested in him as a public creator. Where at, bro? On his channel? Let's see. I don't know if he blocked me over there or not. Oh, he is. Only existed 5 months as a hate channel for you and DJ. I know. It's like
Yeah, it's a new channel, and it's not just for you and TJ, but it's majority you and TJ. Like, so I went and I actually counted, right, and I have 12 to 15 videos about Paul. 12 of them are specifically about Paul. 15 if you include the debate we just did, which isn't a video I made. That was just a stream we did together. If you include the like last 10 minutes of the accusation stream, which I don't include that in my Paul count because
only 10 minutes of the video were specifically autistically about Paul. Dude, bro is absolutely in love with me, and he's terrified of me as well. He could be talking to me right now.
Really is very minimally.
Anybody want to go over to his stream and ask him if he wants to hop in Discord and we'll do a co-stream right now? I got my phone ready. Why not talk about the person that you're talking about with the person you're talking about, you know?
Related to Paul.
Who's he talking to? His friend. I'm sorry, his girlfriend.
Those 3 videos, but if you do count them, the total number is 15 out of 22. So about 70%. In the debate, I said 60 to 70%. So chill, man. It's not 30 videos. It's not dozens of videos.
I guess he's not talking. It's a premiere.
2 dozen videos on the channel in total.
It's just a premiere.
Yeah, it's been like, and it's within the last like 3 months. It's been like 5 videos. Okay, I haven't been working.
Only 5 videos in 3 months. I wonder if he addresses at all the 6 posts about me per day for 6 months. I wonder if he addresses that.
As fast as I want to because I've been busy with other stuff.
Does he not do live stuff? I don't think he does. Nah, well, he was so stupid he couldn't figure out StreamYard, which is like, it's a Zoom call. Like, it's what you would use to call your granny, probably, for free. You know? I had to hold his hand through StreamYard. All you got to do is click a link.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. Which is why I want to talk to the dude. I want to see, like, is this just, like, snark?
No, so, I'll just explain it here. So, again, like, the reason for the videos on the channel is to use this kind of momentum of Paul's, snark communities, his haters, his trolls. There's so much energy and momentum there, and I think like we've successfully used that energy to communicate important political and philosophical ideas, right? Like that's the whole point of the channel. No confidence.
Yeah, doxing my wife. Yeah, you started the channel, the first big reveal video, doxed my wife. You've now blocked me everywhere, despite saying you'd talk to me again, because I have your real information. But that's just a premiere. That's something he filmed a while ago. Yeah, dude, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, he thinks there are important philosophical ideas being expressed. It happened already. It was a 4th of July present, and I got more today. because he did exactly what I said he was going to do. He pissed off the community. He made a decision, and as I understand it, kind of forced them to close down their little subreddit. I didn't think it would happen that fast either. I thought that they would, it'd be a couple months and then somebody'd get bored. But it was literal days. I mean, I don't think anybody thought it would happen that fast. But, I'm not shocked that it did. Like I said, the only reason that I knew that it would happen is because I've dealt with these little shit stir communities before. Well, there's no we. I'm not sharing this information with anybody. I've been describing it. If you go back, Matt, and look at, I'm describing it as my egg. I'm just sitting on it. But I asked for, verification, and I got it. I got verification. It is what it is, bro. You can't be that dumb, but as it turns out, yeah. Let's watch a little more of the premiere, shall we?
Discord server. It's like Paul has never had a friend before who's genuine, He doesn't, he's never gone around and, shot shit with his friends and did movie night and recorded shit.
His friends. Dude, perfect spot. He's talking about his friends on the Discord server, several of which have stabbed him in the back now. This is so perfect, bro. These are his friends. Who's never had a real friend in their life, fucker? Who knows the difference between a Discord rando weirdo and a friend? You mean the friends that fucking gave me all your info? You mean those friends?
With his friends. It's wild.
Friends? Cringe.
What are those? He has sycophants and business partners. What a lonely dungeon world to live in.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal for me.
I said sycophants too.
Bro, his projection of what he thinks my life is so dismal. It's so dismal. And this is all, I'm assuming, recorded before the subreddit blew up and his little fucking friends all stabbed him in the back because he wasn't bringing the bacon. Oh, this is too juicy. I gotta listen to a little more of this.
He's in every anti-fan community, and he's been making non-stop videos about me.
Yeah, 12 videos, bro. 12 to 15. I'm not even counting.
12 to 15. Why is there a variable amount of videos, bro? This guy is trying to hide so hard that he's been obsessed with me for months. I've been his breakfast, lunch, and dinner for months. He's so intent on trying to downplay how many fucking videos he's made that he's literally there's a variable amount of Paul videos on his channel. 12 to 15. It's fucking wild, bro. Let's hear some more.
This was pre-debate. I made 12 videos about you over the course of 5 months.
You're gonna own him in a debate?
Nope. Nope, you didn't. Sorry.
I don't even know if it's what we're doing.
Oh, the smugness is so fun now. Why would you publish this? On the eve of your whole community blowing up and backstabbing you and feeding me? Why would you give me this? You did this. You put this out talking about your friends? The friends that gave me your fucking whole shit?
It's a mock.
I mean, your mod reached out and asked me to... Actually, I'll just show it. This is what Phoebe said to me since...
Discussions don't come with a moderator.
Yeah, this is Phoebe's message to me. Sorry we never ended up getting together for another appearance, but this time I come with a request from the object of your affections himself, Paul. He wants to know if you're willing to come on my channel for a moderated debate between you guys. If you accept, know that I'll be a responsible moderator performing fact-checking and timekeeping obligations. I'm not really going to comment too much on Phoebe's moderation. What I have to say about Phoebe is that, again, like, her behavior during the debate and after the debate is reprehensible. Being a sycophant is reprehensible. Trying to push this narrative that you understand isn't true because it's what your weird internet daddy wants you to do is gross.
What
and I don't
narrative?
really want to associate with you. Sorry, I don't think we're going to do more debates. I don't really want to be on your channel again. We're going to try to do our own thing here, free of Phoebe, I think, going forward. That's pretty much all I have to say about Phoebe.
But if you swept me so hard, why wouldn't you come back and sweep me again? If you destroyed me so hard, why wouldn't you? I think you'd be chomping at the bit to come and destroy me again, right? It's like 9/11 for this kid. I don't know if it's all sunk in yet, dude. Because I've been getting my information sources say that there's look, dude, here's what I know. There's chaos in the ranks. Alchemist Soil has blocked me everywhere, as far as I can tell. Like, he had me on Discord, blocked me there, as far as I can tell. The Paul's Ego spam subreddit is no more. It's been nuked. And, I've got multiple sources that have reached out to me with publicly posted information about the same type of stuff that was, appended to Amelia. And I know his name now. You know what I mean? It's kind of wild how that goes.
Can all watch the debate and see how she did as a moderator and see what her behavior has been like after that. She's been all over our subreddits. She's been all over my channel in the comments. Crazy shit.
I mean, so what? Like, she's engaging with somebody who engages with me. You just got done saying you have a variable amount of videos on my about me on the channel. 12 to 15. So why would it be weird that somebody that's a fan of mine is on your channel? Like, isn't that not what you want? It's for people that watch me to see you tear me up. Now, Phoebe's a weirdo, I guess. Phoebe's a weirdo because she engaged with this dude on his channel prior to this debate. It's like, this is what I'm saying, bro. If you're the winner of this debate, why are you complaining about how unfair it all was, bro? That's what I don't get. It's like, when's the last time, like, when Usain Bolt won the fucking 100-meter dash or whatever the fuck, did he talk about how unfair it all was? Like, I don't get it. Like, when's the last time, like, when the fucking when the people dump the Gatorade on the coach at the end of the Super Bowl, when the winning team dumps the Gatorade on the coach and then gives their interviews and they say they're going to Disneyland, why don't I ever hear them say, like, man, that was the unfairest game ever, the refs were fucking weirdos and clearly in the pocket for the other team? You never hear that out of the winner. Why is the winner whining about how unfair it all was? It seems like you might have been the loser, and it seems like you were the loser because your little fucking community has fallen apart and betrayed you. The people you called your friends. See, you're right. I don't have those types of friends. I'm old enough to know the difference between a friend and an internet weirdo. Yeah, you're right. I don't keep those types of friends. I have 0 of them, to be honest with you. Yeah. So he was right about that. But I think he learned a lesson about those friends in the interim between when this stupid shit was. Yeah. So it's doxing before the debate. Now it's not doxing.
As a certain individual might say.
Moderated discussion, right? Where we're each given equal time to respond to each other's stuff. So I guess it's more.
Does that sound like what happened?
No, that isn't what happened. It ended up just being a discussion, bro. It ended up just being a discussion, right? And you didn't ask for it either. I don't remember you one time during the discussion grousing about this or whining about it, right? Isn't this supposed to be a victory lap post-mortem? Why is it a bunch of whiny bullshit? Why is he crying about unfairness? Do you have an answer, NATO, since you seem to be taking his side?
Absolutely not.
What was that? Can we hear that one more time, Paul? I'm sorry.
Right? Where we're each given equal time to respond to each other's stuff. So I guess it's more
You
than
didn't ask for it. You act like this was something that I was so hot for. Bro, you had fucking people coming in here every stream. When you could debate alchemist soil. Like, go respond to that. That's still up. When this whole debate was set up, who did it? I showed the guy popped in during the stream you're talking about. So you acting like it was me that was hot to get this set up when it was actually you and your little community that's now eating itself and feeding me the scraps. Oh, man. I'm telling you, dude, when shit comes full circle, it feels real good. Oh, yeah, he was a DP fan. He said he goes way back. So I'm like, I've been this dude's breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time.
than my usual stuff, but
What?
That can't be farther than what happened.
okay.
Let's get
I had
to live.
The way that Paul has interacted with that community, you know, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm kind of amazed that this is the thing that he's chosen to harp on over since the debate. I guess that you know, he feels like it makes me look like the biggest piece of shit of everything that happened. So that's the one thing he's gonna glom onto.
What?
But yeah, fine. If I went too hard and if I actually did hurt your wife, that was not my intention.
Oh, shut up.
So that
Dude, shut the fuck up. See, this trying to salvage a little bit of fucking nobility out of what you did, out of the muckrake job you did with my wife's personal fucking shit. Eat a dick, bro. Yeah, thanks a million. That makes everything better. That makes everybody feel so much better. That makes the invasion of her privacy so much better, bro. Thanks for that.
was very unfair, but everything else, whatever. It's your opinion, my opinion, shit. You know.
Okay, great. So, cool. I'm ready to end it here then, I guess. And that's the end. I didn't give him what he wanted at the end. Then I thought about it the next morning, and I decided, you know what? It's cool. It's cool that he did the debate with me, honestly. It was good for the channel. I can do that for him. I can have, at some point in this...
I don't think history will show that it was good for the channel, but I guess we'll see. We'll see how your next video does. I presume that this is, because it says here, responding. Oh, okay. So let's see. Let's see what he's got.
This is, you know, before he calms down here, he says, the only thing you've gotten out of your channel is an enemy in me. And you know
It says
I can
Paul
have
Saga
compassion for my
finale.
enemies, so that's fine.
The Paul Saga finale. So he's done with me now. After 12 to 15 videos and raking my wife and her personal details and her personal life through the fucking public eye and spending months making fun of her for it, he's done with me now. Guess what? I'm not done with you. And I can almost fucking guarantee that if your next video doesn't have me up in the thumbnail, it'll get half the amount of views that you normally get. You've built nothing, bro. You've gathered together an island of misfit toys. Dude, if it wasn't an invasion of privacy, NATO, do you want to call me on Discord? You've got all day. Discord, at Paul's Ego. Let me know. Yeah, he hasn't, though. Prove me wrong. If he's built something, his next video ought to blow up, right? He's got a big community over there. They really want to hear what Alchemist Soil has to say about not me. Call me. Call me. You call me. I'm here. I got 75% battery. I got a full phone. Let's go. Discord. One pinky toe into reality. Didn't work out well for Alchemist Soil. How's that community doing, NATO? I know you're a part of it. I won't mute you at all. There's no moderator. It's a Discord call. Don't be a pussy about it. One pinky toe. At Paul's Ego on Discord. How about we do it together? You got the ponage lined up for me? How about we go through it together? Yeah, the automatic excuses start coming out when you just ask them to put one pinky toe into reality. Nope, you're part of that community. How do you feel about how that community is collapsing? How do you feel about the fact that stupid ass, dumb ass Alchemist Soil posted pictures of himself all over that fucking thing and people sent them to me? Posted his real name, what he does for a living, publicly. How you feel about that? How does that fit your worldview? The audience isn't here for you, bro. The audience isn't watching the NATO 32 show. They're watching me. The audience wants to see you talk to me. Hey, audience, throw up a 1 in the chat if you'd like NATO to grow a nut in his sack and call me on Discord. Just throw a 1 up. Uh-oh. Soil got doxed. He did. There's a 3 for the manatee here or there, but it looks like the chat's pretty much unanimous, bud. I don't think the chat's listening to you. I think the chat wants to listen to you. They're listening to me. So what's it going to be? Who doxed Alchemist? I said before, my source, I'll die on my source. That source is sacrosanct to me, journalistically speaking. Yeah. He said that if he was dumb enough to post his picture in a public place, like a Discord, where the link is publicly available, like his Discord was, until recently. If he was dumb enough to do that, and I were to release that information, it wouldn't be doxing. Pretty sure it's still up. Where did this doxing happen? You want to see? So you haven't been around, Wendell. I'm calling it my egg. I'm going to sit on it. Because I tell you what, it's a weird egg, bro. Because on July 4th, the egg was laid. And I asked for verification and I got it. And then today, the egg got bigger. More independent sources from the community. Because there's a lot of, I mean, you know that, right? You're in the community, Wendell. There's a lot of kind of like squabbling going on right now. How would I know that? Yeah, it was a 4th of July present. There's a lot of squabbling and people aren't happy with like Alchemist Soil and how he's kind of, didn't he kind of force you guys to close down that community over there a little bit? What's that about? They're very paranoid. They should be, because I'm in their walls now. Hey, Wendell, if I say nice sword, does that mean anything to you? Just to prove I know what I'm talking about? Or Mall Ninja? just to prove that I've got what I say I have? Do those two terms mean anything to you, given what you know about the community? You don't know what those terms mean? Okay. Wow. I'm trying to think. Wendell, you know Alchemist's name, right? I mean, you're in the Discord. How would I prove that I know his name? I'm an old school guy. He's a pretty famous guy, old school collaborator of Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg has collaborated with a lot of people, but he shares a name with a really well-known Snoop Dogg collaborator. What do you mean without his consent? He posted it publicly. I was sent logs from his publicly available Discord where he chatted about these things and posted pictures of himself. According to his own standard, it wouldn't be doxing if I were to release that information. I don't know if I ever will. It's doxing? Well, go disagree with him then, because he did that to my wife. His name is Tupac, yeah. Tupac Shakur. Was it in DMs or on the server? Server. Multiple people participating, server name. He didn't publish his full name. He published his first name. I don't have his full name. I just know what his first name is and what he does for a living because he posted that. And I've got pictures of him because he posted those as well. This is some old school YouTube drama. I'm here for it. It's just an ass bite. Karma. So what you're saying is that he posted this stuff on a personal server publicly, right? And that if I were to release it, it would be doxing. So what did he do to my wife? Phoebe talks about where she works. Phoebe worked at Taco Bell for the longest time. She's not a pussy like you. She stands on her own life and business. Everybody knows what her name is. It's right there. Phoebe Ophelia is her name. She'll tell you where she lives. She'll tell you what she does for work. She's a parent. Lives in North Mississippi. Lives on a little subsistence farm. Chickens, etc. So if she didn't want that published, would that be doxing? If she posted it on a public account, would it be doxing? For me to say, hey, that's Phoebe. Funny how not being ashamed of your life and not being ashamed to be who you are in public kind of anneals you against shit like this. And being a little paper bag shitbag that likes to muckrake behind your little wall of anonymity with your friends on your Discord. Shared too much, bro. You shared too much. You gave too much. You talked too much. Too much. Bow, bow, bow. Server isn't public now. The fucking link to the Discord server was pinned at the top of the Paul's Ego spam subreddit until it was nuked. And this information all predates that. It's date stamped. So Amelia's account is gone too. You have info on others in that community? Nope. I don't want it either. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not. You guys can chill out. I'm not asking my sources for any of that, right? All I want is stuff that Alki posted publicly on that server and any public social media that he has or whatever that he doesn't have appended to his name, but that's publicly available. I'd like that. Yeah. Oh, you ain't heard, Phoebes? You should go watch the last stream. Christmas in July. I got a little July 4th present. Well, he told us. You don't have to go now, but because we're kind of talking about it now. He's premiering a video about me and you right now. But I was watching it a little bit earlier. It's pretty fucking funny in retrospect. I happened to tune in right at the time he was going like, Paul just thinks it's just so weird to have friends, you know? Like hanging out with your friends in a Discord is so weird. Paul doesn't have any friends. Those friends, since he recorded that, have betrayed him. 39 live viewers on that premiere. Whew. That channel is smoking hot. That part was hella funny. Wendell, you had to know that that part was funny. And he's right about that, dude. I don't got friends like that. I'm not friends with anonymous internet apes, bro. Because I know. Yeah, and like 100 viewers here, bro. You couldn't pull 10 viewers if you pulled your whole butthole out on cam. Dead ass. Don't talk to me, bro. You're a paper bag. Unless you want to call me. Yeah, see, they're all stumbling over that shit. Because now they're crying, dox. Paul's threatening to dox. And I was like, wait, what? That's not dox. Posting your public name to your publicly posted account and shit, that's not doxing. And if I ever do release it, I'll just name the video somebody who isn't Alchemist Soil. That's all. Right? That's how he covered his ass, right? Live by the sword, dude. I told him, he could reach out to me. I'll send him everything I've been sent. It's all shit he posted on his fucking Discord server. Is Alki skinny? No. No, he ain't. He also never should have spoken up about how I look, ever. Dead ass. Should have kept his fucking mouth shut. Oh, I predicted he was a fat fuck. Because he likes to talk about what a fat fuck I am. Yeah, he's fat. He's fatter than shit. Dude, Phoebe, dead ass, somebody asked me during yesterday's stream, is he worse than Spino? And I'm dude, all salt aside, all personal fucking issue that I have with this dude aside, the answer is yes. But to answer somebody's question earlier, I have sent it to nobody. It is not my intention to pass this around like scuttlebutt. Like I said, it's an egg in my nest. That's all. Like uglier than Spino. Like if I had to save my whole family by fucking one person, right? There's kids playing, so if I had to save my whole fucking family by booty blasting one person, I would booty blast Spino. No cap. No caparino. Cappuccino pepperino. But that's just my personal taste. But it wouldn't even take me fucking a second. I would clap Spino cheeks. Dude, Wendell, dude, you and I have a long sordid history, right? It was kind of you that created this in a way, because you were the guy that was like, Wendell, look me in the eye, bro. No cap. Zero cappuccino, peppuccino, caparino, peppuccino, Al Pacino, Ben Verino, Time Machino. Why did you delete the post where TJ threatens to? I didn't. GigaChad47, and I don't think TJ threatened to dox Alchemist Soil. TJ was making a point that doxing is a shitty thing to do. So I think you're kind of misinterpreting the post. But, you know, things tend to go over that community's head. Put it back up. You got screen caps, right? You put it back up. I mean, it just is what it is, bro. It just is what it is. Well, Wendell, like, whatever. I know, like, okay, if I'm willing to give you that I believe you when I say that you're not the cokehead guy. You know, I was just feeding you a little bit of your anonymity, okay? That's all. I believe that you're a separate entity, right? Just an interested party, a snarker, right? Am I wrong about that? You're a guy, you like internet drama, maybe a fan of the show, maybe I said some things that piss you off, and we can talk about that type of shit too, right? I'm cool with that. Like, I'll talk to you about that, Wendell. I'm not adverse to it. I will say some shit, bro. I'll say some stuff. And I've said this before here on the channel, but I do a lot of these, bro. And so I'll say it again. And I mean this when I say it, Wendell. I mean this. I'm the guy that did the duty stain challenge. I never, in the history of my internetery, wanted to be taken seriously by anybody. Okay? Being taken seriously by somebody means zip to me. Nothing. And if you believe anything about me, if you believe I'm truthful about anything, believe that. Okay? I like being a clown. I like being able to say whatever the fucking crazy shit that I think is. And I like standing on business, and I like arguing about that shit. I don't, you know? And I'm willing to fucking have people call me names and fucking call me out on stupid shit that I've said and fucking hold it up in my nose and stuff. I don't go hiding my shit. I don't go taking down my online presence, right? My whole fucking shit is up for you to see, bro. You know, my other channel's back. I don't know if you guys know that over there. That's like all the way back to like 2007, Paul's Ego. Everything I've ever posted is up. I don't go, like, I just don't. That ain't me, you know? And I think it tells a lot about that community that there was like a scrubbing, like there's fucking chaos going on. Over what? Over what they did to my wife? And gleefully? I'm a gadfly. You guys understand how Socrates used the term gadfly? Yeah, they're freaking out. They should be. Multiples of them now have stuck a knife, right? They should be. They're turning on each other just like I said they would. They should be. You know? Hey, dude, is everything good there? Do you love Palestine? I don't love Palestine. I think that there should be I'm a one state solution guy, but I really don't want to turn this into IP, bro. I think Israel and Palestine are never going to be able to be neighbors, so I think they should be blended into one fucking nation that respects sovereignty and citizenship despite racial identity and religion. And there needs to be a coalition government, and it needs to all be overseen by a NATO interim government, and that's the solution to IP. And it'll never happen because Israel, being a hotbed of fucking contention in the Middle East, makes billions of dollars for companies like Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, etc. So there you go. Do your sources tell you who they are, or do they just give you info anonymously? I'm not going to tell you anything about my sources. Like I said at the beginning of this, I'm not looking to dox anybody, really. Like I'm not looking to dox. But no, my sources, I told them that I would preserve their anonymity on my end. I'm doing this as a journalistic interest in a public figure that runs a channel that is dedicated to me, right? So any information gathering I'm doing in the journalistic interest of a future possible video. And so my sources are sacrosanct. How they reached out to me, like you know what you're gonna know. I was reached out to on July 4th, and that's all I'll tell you. That was the first contact, right? I asked that contact for verification, and that contact provided it. And since then, other contacts from the community. So, cross verification and whatnot. So they're eating each other over there. Just like I said. How did I know? Because I've been dealing with snark communities since before people called them snark communities. The fucking show that I used to be on, Drunken Peasants, probably had the first giant snark community of any show. On YouTube especially, if you want to boil it down to that. We had an entire fucking legion of anti-fans that love to hate us. And I've been dealing with these types of fan communities since like fucking 2015. So 10 years. I got a decade worth of experience in this arena, and I've seen it happen. I said it before, and Wendell, tell me I'm wrong, okay? You and I are kind of like talking now or whatever, like men. Does that community love Alchemist Soil more than it loves chaos and drama? Just your honest opinion. Does that community love Alchemist Soil as a person more than they love chaos and drama and discord and craziness? Just give me your honest opinion as a member of that community. I'll take whatever you say as the truth. You don't have to. Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot either, Wendell. I'm not trying to Eye of Sauron you. And you've been actually kind of chill as opposed to this NATO dork. Yeah, they hate me, but of course chaos, right? Like they want shit stir. So you're saying like you think that they're kind of united around Alchemist Soil because they hate my guts and stuff? That's like the feel you get, like because you said the community's paranoid as fuck right now, right? I saw evidence of that this morning, or a little bit last night. I think it was early morning or whatever the fuck, but yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like that was the principle. And I got to tell you, Wendell, did you know the real etymology of all this shit? Because it was like a revelation, right? So if you go back and watch the Phoebe debate or whatever we're calling it, right? Argument. There's a real quick thing where he goes, I say, you're a jobless fucking idiot. He goes, that's funny. And I was like, yeah, no, you are. You're a paper bag. I say some shit like this, right? I'm paraphrasing, but there's a point. And he goes, well, all the people on my server that know what I do for a living would find that funny, but whatever. And it just went on. Like, I registered it, but it didn't hit home. And then I was like, wait a minute. He told these fucking morons what he does for a living? That's the etymology of this. So he told me that these people knew about him. I didn't even have to like guess that he would. Dude, I thought, to be honest with you, that he was going to be a dude that was like smart enough. At least he didn't put a picture of himself up. At least he didn't give like his real name or tell where he fucking works, because he's been real open about where he lives. So what he does for a living and where he lives narrows him down pretty fucking hard, bro. Yeah, it puts him in a small room. You know what I mean? And he posted all of it on his public Discord, which is now private and probably scrubbed, I would imagine. A lot of the people, well, one of the people, the person that is closest to him, the guy that like is on his streams with him, talking with him and stuff, just completely like nuked his account, went and used that redact thing to scramble his account. I'm not really interested in that guy, but I mean, it's kind of crazy, bro. It's not even about getting back in my good graces. Like none of the people that have come to me have reached out like, hey dude, I'm your friend. It hasn't been like that. They're just mad at Alchemist Soil and some of the other people in the community and the way that they're handling shit. I don't know what's going on over there, but I know that's why people are fucking giving me the eggs. That's why they're giving me the deets. There. Oh yeah. Yeah, as of today, Phoebes. Oh, dude, they nuked the whole Paul's Ego spam subreddit. It's gone. There's one post up, and it's a 5-second clip of a 5-hour conversation of me calling a dude a faggot. Think that they will learn? Dude, I gotta be honest with you. Hold on. Do you think that they will learn that there's no trust in a snark community, or are they just gonna regroup with the same? No. Here's the thing. I'm gonna be dead ass honest, and Wendell can back me up. Most of the people that are in there know what a snark community is and haven't given their name and fucking address. Well, I don't have his address. I don't really want it. I'm not trying to fucking find the dude. But, if my wife's personal life is up for perusal. I think his is too. You know, especially given his own rules about it. That's where I stand on it. But I think most of the people, and maybe Wendell can fucking give us a little insight if he's willing. I think most of them, like, probably know better, right? Most of them know what they're a part of, and they're gonna keep hating my guts. I don't think that worm is gonna turn anytime soon. That never goes away. I mean, there are people that have literally had a 10-year hate boner for me that I know of in our community that still exist. They're still entities. We're talking about a decade hate boner. So this is people are invested in this type of stuff, bro. For real, for real. Yeah, don't bring piss to a shit fight. Yeah, exactly. What? Gage? I don't know who Gage is, but I'm not, like I said, I don't reveal my sources. I can neither confirm or deny any source guess that you're making if that's what that was. My journalistic sources are sacrosanct to me. Okay? The Gage that I remember was all up in that chat, and he was super alchemist soil guy. But as far as like him being involved in this, cannot confirm or deny, right? Yeah, that's where I remember. That's where I remember him from. What did he do to my wife? He doxed her. He revealed a personal Reddit account and tied her real name and identity to that Reddit account and released it publicly so that other people could comb through it and do with what they wish. And they did. Released personal medical information about her, digging all the way back through her account. And the vector was him. One of my pronouns, fucking you. Get and banned are my pronouns. How about that? What did Phoebes ask? So Gage Tomerlin has been in the community for years. I don't know. I kind of recognize the name Gage, so probably. He's probably a known quantity in that snark community because it sounds kind of familiar, maybe even outside of him showing out in your chat or whatever. But like I said, dude, I'm not the type, I'm not keeping like personal tabs on any of these dudes. I'm not doing that, bro. I don't live in that world, but I know how to deal with it when that crops up and has hubris. I know how they fall, right? I mean, dude, people go to court, yada yada yada. I'm not looking to sue. I'm not a litigious motherfucker, bro. I'm not looking to sue nobody. One of their community did go fucking ape shit and threatened to sue me, though. He's like, I do not consent to my documents being released. Bro, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like I said, there are people out there that have followed the podcasts and stuff that I've done way closer than me. I lived them. There are people that treat them like content, right? They watch them over and over and they go back to them. And there's eras and there's this season and that season, right? I don't do that. I don't do it. And so I trust a fan from our community. You know, if you guys say he's been around a long time, he's been around a fucking long time. His name is familiar to me outside of the debate. But as far as who he is or what he is, I don't know. How long he's been around, I don't know. It just is what it is, bro. Cure to the workday. Aw, yeah, cool. There's a lot of stuff out there, man. I've been doing this a long fucking time. Don't smoke. Don't tell me what to do, bro. Shut the fuck up. Still planning on releasing the info you got? You just letting it cook? No. I don't know, man. That's the thing about it is like, I was kind of hoping he would call my bluff and reach out to me in private and be like, hey, dude, if you actually have some shit, prove it. Because I have no problem sharing with him what I've got. They're pictures of him, right? But he didn't do that. He blocked me. So I think he knows I have it. I think he knows maybe who sent it. I don't know. But they scrubbed that whole thing. And, you know, I'll let everybody know I'm not, like, dude, I'm not that type. I'm a frugal motherfucker. I'm not hiring fucking private investigators or any fucking stupid shit like that. Like, this information came to me from a public server, bro. From a person that is just verified as a person in their community, and that's it. That's it, bro. This was not some secret fucking op that I ran for months or anything. It literally played out. Oh yeah, he blocked me on Discord for some reason. Yeah, I'm blocked. Guess he doesn't want to talk to me again now. Guess he changed his mind. Well, look at what his premiere is labeled. It's the Paul finale. So he's done with me. According to his own words, he's not going to be covering Paul's ego anymore on the channel. I guess he's, you know, a lady is entitled. And so is a gentleman to change their mind at any point. I wouldn't begrudge them that. Wouldn't begrudge any human being that. I've changed my mind quite a few times in my life. Why would he? Well, I mean, if he was the victor, to dance on my grave is kind of like, it's so funny listening to, because we tuned into his premiere a little bit, and he was trying to be like, I blew Paul's ass out in this debate, and then like 10 minutes later, he's whining about how unfair it all was, right? And I'm just like, man, you remember that time that the fucking 49ers won the Super Bowl and Joe Montana hoisted up the fucking trophy? And he was like, this was the most unfair bullshit ever, and all the refs were against me. Because I don't. You ever remember, you know, anybody winning the gold swimming and going like, man, these swimming competitions are bullshit, man, everybody against me. It doesn't seem like what the victor does, but for some reason, a huge chunk of his fucking video he's premiering about me is that. You know what I mean? He's trying to like throw you under the bus. He was like, oh, Phoebe's weird. She was in my comments before the debate, and she was in the snark communities. And it's like, wait a minute, a fan of our show engaged in a community that was public about our show? Weird. What a weirdo. I'm like, what? Well, dating myself with the 49ers winning the Super Bowl, honestly. You know what I'm talking about? Oof. Oofa. Yeah. Remember that time that fucking Mike Tyson knocked out George Foreman? And he was like, the refs were very biased against me, and they prevented me from even getting a single shot in. You remember that? Because I don't. Dating yourself. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you run defense on your own time. It is what it is. It's like, you know, providing a counterpoint to that can be fun. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk to the guy, because it's different. Like when you have this object of your obsession, and you're in this little cloistered off community, and it's like you're like a little micro celeb in the community now, and you see how his voice cracked when he got 10 subscribers. I mean, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of a fucking overinflated ego, and that's coming from an overinflated ego. So if I can, you know, game recognize game. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a community about my show and me, and it's weird that Phoebe hangs out in it and calls out the fucking lies that are told routinely in it. Like, why would that be weird? It wasn't weird before. You were happy to talk to Phoebe, and very politely, I might add. She wasn't a completely creepy, obsessed Paul dick sucker, blah, 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 when you met her the first time. I kind of went and skimmed through that talk post-debate. And man, that was just cordial as peach pie. Man, that was like a slice of peach pie and a cold glass of lemonade on a hot Georgia summer. That was peach cobbler and a glass of frosty homemade lemonade on a Georgia summer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you asked. I mean, somebody asked earlier, Wendell, like, would this be the end of all those dudes? No. Because most of those dudes know what a snark community is. They know not to, you know what I mean? They're going to maintain their little anonymity. And I'm fine with that, honestly. I'm fine. I'm honestly not against snark communities, right? They just tend to implode. And that's just historical fact from my perspective, right? But they're always around. Like I said, some of the people are saying, like Phoebe's saying, she's been seeing fucking one of them around for years and years. So it's like the anti-fan community isn't going anywhere. Yeah, one comment and it's weird, but 542 comments about Paul. No, that's normal. Yeah. 6 comments per day for 6 months on his Reddit account about me. But Phoebe leaving a comment or two on his public channel and engaging on his public subreddit is weird. Otello figured it out. His account is 6 months old, and we just did the numbers. It's just a matter of fucking math. How many posts? Because you can go to somebody's Reddit account and search for a term. So I'm assuming Otello just searched for Paul and Paul's ego. He added up the number of posts the guy had made, divided it by the age of his account, and came up with an average number of posts per day. That was it. It's just simple math. I don't know. Maybe he scrubbed his account by now, but that was available for all to see. That number dropped to 527 after the subreddit nuke. Weird. He deleted some of his own posts and comments. Oh, thanks for letting me know, Montello. Yeah, Wendell. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, call me what you want, bro, but that's fucking wild. 6 times a day, bro. I don't think about my own mom 6 times a day, bro. I'm not even fucking lying, bro. What the fuck? That's wild. Too wild for me. You're right, it is public. Yeah, you just use like Reddit. You can search. You go to somebody's account and search. You just search just search Paul and Paul's ego. It's going to give you a total list of posts that have those terms in it. So it's probably not even complete, because there are probably times he was posting about me, but he didn't say my name. But 542 some odd verified posts about me in 6 months of an account, or 5 months that he was using the account publicly, right? Equals 6 times per day, every day, holidays included, for half a year. And it's not slowing down. He's premiering a video about me right now, bro. Bro, I would have to cover him non-stop for 6 months to even come close. You gonna watch that video? Oh, yeah. Dude, the little bit that I tuned into when he was talking about his friends, several of which have since he recorded it, betrayed him. That was too good. I gotta go back and see the whole thing. Wendell, can I ask you, like, just about you? I'm not personal info. What? So you're kind of like adjacent. I get the idea from how you're talking that maybe you're not the most active in that community over there, but that's fine. I don't really want to know about them. Just about you personally. Like, what caused you to hate my guts? Like, what was your breaking point with me or whatever? It's an interesting topic that I kind of hope to get to the bottom of with Alchemist Soil, but it was just too incendiary, man. I was real mad about how he treated my wife, because that was just fucking unconscionable. Like, I'll take whatever slings and arrows, man. You dig through my life, it's out there. But she's not a content creator. She doesn't run a channel. You know what I mean? She never mentioned or tied her identity or posted a picture of herself on that account. It was never meant to be a public thing. And it was just fucked up, man. Sucked seeing her that whole fucking day, because she was captive to it a whole fucking day, because Reddit is fucked, man. You have to delete every fucking post individually. You can't just delete your account. You can close your account, but it remains searchable. So if she didn't want people digging through 10 years of her history constantly and bringing it up in the community, she had to sit there and spend a whole fucking day captive to it. So I was just mad, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at you. So what's the beef, man? Like, why do you hate my guts? Because you were pretty mad at me in the other one. Or were you just stirring shit? That's a valid answer, too. Like, honestly. If you're just kind of like fanning the flames, that's cool, too. But, you know, if there is a moment where you were like, man, fuck this Paul's Ego guy, I'd be interested to know what it is. Like, you know, just as a matter of course. Both, really? Okay. Yeah, no, that's valid. That's valid. Was there, but like, what was the moment where you were like, you know, I was a fan of this dude, I really liked this guy, and then he said X, or he acted this way on this appearance, or he said this thing, or whatever it is, right? Do you remember? Or was it just like was it a combo of things, maybe? Was it like multiples of my position started to like cook you wrong? Would that be fair? Or I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just... Doxing is fucked. The harm people can do with your name, address, etc. It's horrible. Oh yeah, they know what fucking town I live in, even though I haven't told anybody that. Because Amelia posted in the fucking subreddits of it. It's fucked, bro. But it is what it is. Your Ukraine takes made me dislike you a lot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one, you know, I gotta be honest with you, man. And I guess maybe, like, if you'd listened to me talk, you'd probably would have known what my position on that would have been. You know what I'm talking about? Because I've been anti-war from the jump. I mean, one of my earliest videos, I talk about Johnny Got His Gun, changing my whole perspective on war. You can go back on my Ideology channel. It's back in like 2008 or some shit. 7. Way back. And so that's not a new thing to me. I'm anti-war. I'm anti-American participation and expansion and all of that. And that's just not new. But I can see that there's a lot of fucking... people got a lot of fucking emotion wrapped up in that sort of thing. And I do, my heart does hurt for the people of Ukraine and the people of Russia. Both conscript armies forced to fight each other in fucking horrible trench warfare. I wish it had never happened. Yeah. Well, I don't think it's the internet. Well, maybe the internet is complicit in it, but I think anonymity plus the internet brings out a lot of people's true colors. People will show you who they are. Give somebody a mask and they'll tell you who they are. And there's a lot of that on the internet. People are willing to go mask off on the internet a lot because they feel like nobody's ever going to know who they are. Nobody's ever going to put their name to all of that fucking crazy shit, right? So I say a lot of crazy shit, bro, but my name has been out there since 2015 is when I doxed myself. Ironically, because I was being threatened with doxing from another obsessed weirdo named AIU. Atheism is Unstoppable, aka Atheist Rue, aka Devin Tracy, aka a number of other fucking things, I'm sure. Another fucking weirdo was in my DMs one night in 2015. I just started kind of ramping up with the Drunken Peasants, just gotten hired and stuff full time and all that. And he's in my DMs going like, "I'ma dox you, Paul Parkey." And I was like, I just went on Twitter and I was like, "Hey, my name is Paul Parkey Jr. I've been threatened with doxing. I got nothing to hide. So Paul's ego is Paul Parkey Jr. There you go." And you know what stopped any threats of doxing? You know what hasn't happened in 10 years? Some big balloon of information about me that people found in my public records that contradicts anything I say. You know why they haven't found any of that? Because it ain't there. You know why it ain't there? Because I'm not that guy. Dude, I worked a blue-collar job my whole life. I started podcasting in 2015. I got on a big podcast. It took off. Now I do it for a living. And I've been doing it for a living for 10 years. That's me. That's what I've told you I am. And that's what my public records say that I am. I had my father sit across from me and talk to me for hours live here. I got nothing to hide. Yeah, no. I mean, Wendell, I got to be honest with you, Pranav. Wendell has been chill today. And yeah, dude, I'm not trying to make best friends with him, though. I'm not trying to make friends with anybody on the fucking internet. Like, Pranav, I got to be honest with you. You are the closest thing that I have to an internet friend ever. You know what I mean? And we've actually met, so I don't consider you an internet friend. Like, you know, you have pictures of me that nobody else has. I have pictures of your family and you. Like, we're friends in real life. Right? And you're the closest thing I've got to an internet friend. No, dude, I had a choice. I could slink around and get scared that this Devin Tracy guy was going to dox me. Or I could look at, like, what's the consequences of me getting doxed? Okay, it might be easy for somebody to find my address if they want to. That kind of sucks. It might be easy for somebody to look at my public records. Well, I mean, no shame in my game. I've already talked about where I went to school and when I grew up and what age I am and all that. So it's like everything they find when they search my public records is not going to contradict that. So no loss there. Going forward, right? It's like how many people remain truly anonymous that are content creators? It's like at that point, my co-host Ben was anonymous, but my other two co-hosts, TJ and Scotty, Thomas James Kirk III, Scotty Kirk, right? These are known names well before Drunken Peasants, right? So I kind of followed TJ and Scotty's example. Live large. You know what I mean? Own your name, own who you are, tell people who I didn't want to have to be restricted and talking about what I came up with and how I came up and where I came up and so I just made a decision, right? And that's all, right? But it's like, I never made that decision for the people in my personal life. That's not how it works, right? And that's all. My ex-girlfriend Ashley used to be in my videos all the time. I don't think she ever had her own YouTube channel, or if she did, she didn't make videos on it much. But she was all into that. She liked the content creator thing, and I made sure she knew what it meant. You know what I mean? Like, I don't let, I did the same thing with my dad. Like, I had a real conversation with my dad about what it means to stream with me and talk with me about shit and what he wanted to like keep under his hat. Ashley did have a channel, you're right. But yeah, no, she was all into that shit. You know what I mean? And she suffered the slings and arrows of that fucking crazy community. They said awful things about her on an almost constant fucking basis. And she's a really nice person. She's just like a really kind-hearted person. She would probably try to contradict me on that, but it's just the truth about her. She's just a nice person. At the core of her being, she's a nice person with spikes, like me. You know what I mean? That's why we crashed together and had a great time together and then left, you know, like left it there. That's why we're still, you know, at least on that level, cool. I don't think we hate each other. I don't think we ever will. I don't think there's any reason for that. Right? And that's a beautiful way to leave a relationship. But if I'm honest about what she suffered as a result of being just unashamed on social media about who she was, but also having to be my mate, right? My other for years. I mean, if she was in here, she'd tell you it probably still to this day, people are hitting her up and shit. It's probably wild. But, you know, Ashley knew what social media was, and we had that talk, and that was that. You know what I mean? She knew. She wanted to go on that crazy ride. I don't think she regrets it. She never told me she regrets it. I never heard those words out of her mouth. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put words in her mouth, ever. So I certainly don't. You know what I mean? But I don't carry a lot of regret for anything in my life. Maybe nothing, honestly. It's a beautiful place to reach in your life. But good, bad, right, or wrong, man, everything led me here. And I feel good. I do. You know? Oh yeah, just being my girlfriend caused a lot of fucking bullshit for her. You know? And I didn't want that for Amelia. Amelia doesn't want that for herself. And that was kind of thrust upon her overnight while we slept, which was shitty. I woke up to it. She woke up to it. It's fucked. And, you know, like, once again, there was nothing in there that hurt me or hurt us as a couple. It was just horribly invasive for her to have all of that appended to herself. Because she was a normal person on Reddit and asked questions and talked about her concerns and stuff, right? And people just gleefully combed through all that shit. And so it was awful, right? That's a different fucking thing, right? Well, yeah, you know, I'm sorry for that, P. And I don't know if I haven't talked to you about it. Maybe we should discuss, but I don't know if you want me to stop using your name or whatever and start, you know, I'm fine with P. P is kind of cool. But I've already said it a couple of times this stream. That's kind of fucked up that that's become an issue for you. But I'd rather not, like, expose you to that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Because that's just fucking retarded. You're a fan of mine and an old friend of mine from before all the shit that would gather people as fans, right? I know you from before Drunken Peasants. You and I are like real life buds. So it's just odd to me that your participation in our community would draw fucking scrutiny and shit like that towards you. So Do you used to work with Pranob or something? Nah. Met Pranob, if memory serves, through my very, very, very early kind of streaming stuff where I was doing YouTube lives where people could join. I don't remember what they were called, but when YouTube started that Google Plus initiative thing, you used to be able to do a YouTube thing where if people were watching it and you posted the link to it, they could join. Like it was like a call. It was like a Discord call, but it was broadcast live. It was kind of cool actually. And I started doing these sessions called Stick Ham and Beer. Am I wrong about this, by the way, Pranob? Do we go back farther than this? Yeah, Google Hangouts. Am I wrong about this? Because this is where my memory tells me that you and I met. Was in those late night kind of like I would have a few beers, maybe smoke a doobie or something. And there was a couple of times I did mushrooms, sit in a room full of people and just kind of chat away into the night. A lot of those are still up. I might republish some of those because I took them down because there was some fucking kid, not a kid, but he was a young dude. He was like 18 or 19. I'm trying to remember what his name was, but he was involved in those. And then he reached out to me and he was like, "Hey man, I'm trying to clean up my act, and could you take those videos down?" And I was like, "Bro, that's a lot of videos." He's like, "I know, man, but come on, man, please." And I'm not that type of guy, and so I took him down. But I don't think that dude is fucking ever gonna have that shit appended to him now, this many years later. So I may like republish those because a lot of those probably have me and you meeting for the first time in them, which is kind of cool.
You don't need any of these butts, do you?
No, I wasn't keeping you awake, was I?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're just still streaming like an hour and a half after.
Oh, yeah. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty out here today.
Yeah.
Up where we were, it was so much hotter outside. But like here in the shade, isn't it just perfect? And we did good at you notice the temp in the house.
Mm.
I before I came to bed, I put up our...
Yeah.
And instead of turning it out,
Mm.
I turned it in just to suck more. Because it was kind of muggy in our bedroom when I came to bed.
Yeah.
Not horribly, but a little bit.
Mm.
And so I just wanted to ice it out. So I hope you didn't freeze out last night or anything. Yeah. I woke up and I had a foot out of the blanket, and that foot was cold. But
yeah.
that's what we got to do. That's how we fight because like as hot as it gets here, it ain't that bad as long as we're doing that. So I'm glad that's it's Google Hangouts is where I met. So I'm the dude with the hat who was an anarchist. Yeah. He was like a blonde kid. He was like 18, 19 or something, college kid. And he had like he was very like well-spoken. So I could tell he's like an English major or something. And he would argue with me about stuff, but I don't even remember about what. And that dude reached out to me and he was like, "Bro, can you private those videos, man? I'm trying to clean up my act, trying to get a job, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Dude, your name's not in them." He's like, "Yeah, but my face and yada, yada." I was like, "Okay, bro." Because at that time, I wasn't doing it to make content. I was doing it to have fun. And I didn't want that guy to, but I told him, I said, "Don't participate in my future stuff." He, "I won't, man. I'm leaving this thing and blah, blah, blah. Thank you." I was like, "All right." I told him I'm not going to keep privating shit. Like, and I'm not going to do this for future people either. Like, I'm going to start telling people. And I did. And so there's a few of those Stick Ham and Beer sessions up and a few of those Google Hangouts. Yeah, no, I mean, he was super well-spoken. Like, I liked the guy. He was a little weird and a little anarchist at a time when I was kind of like more on the Democratic train a little bit. This is pre-Obama, right? Or maybe during the early Obama era, right? And so, yeah. But no, a real cool cat, and that's why I did him the solid, right? But I just don't, all these years later, maybe I'll go through him and just censor his face out, because that was his big concern, was that his face would dox him or whatever. And I don't want to do that to him, because he was a nice cat. He was, like I said, a real smart dude. But yeah, a lot of the, like, I think 5 or 6 of those streams had to go down because it featured him. Yeah, I think he was kind of like, yeah, Ron Paul, anarchist, libertarian leaning kind of dude. Yeah, I remember that. Super well spoken. Used to have to like look shit up on the fly while he was talking because he just used so many fucking terms that I wasn't familiar with. But yeah, no. Anyway, when did you get the wool pulled from your eyes with Obama? It didn't take long. It was a couple months into his presidency. He said some shit about how Guantanamo wasn't a priority. And I was like, what? Because he literally ran on closing Gitmo day one. And then it was like 2 or 3 months. You can fact check me on this. It might have been longer. But it was within the first few months of his presidency that the worm turned for me. And then the nail in the coffin was the ACA. When overnight, like we went to bed, all of us thinking that like they're doing this crazy overnight session. We're about to get a fucking single payer healthcare plan through in America. Hallelujah. We're about to join the fucking first world finally. And we all wake up and we find out we're all now forced to buy private insurance. That was the compromise that was done late in the night when people couldn't react to it. And so that was the nail. That was the final nail. But it really just started with that quote from him. Guantanamo's not a priority right now. We've got other things to do and other things to say. And I was like, you fucking snake. Because that was a huge issue at that time, on the left especially. You know, even libs wanted that place fucking closed. It was a symbol of all of the hatred that George W. Bush engendered against Arab people. And it was just this big open sore of like a fucking a forever prison where we send political undesirables to an island to rot and never face any kind of judge. It was a huge issue. He made it a big part of his campaign that he would sign an executive order to get it closed day one. And then months in, it's not a priority right now. So I knew he was going to snake at that point, and I knew it for a fact when the ACA turned into a big giant gift to private insurance companies overnight. It was right around then, too, that the flies started landing on Obama.
Well, like, the problem with the ACA, too, is it kind of rose healthcare costs because they expanded Medicaid, but they didn't compensate hospitals enough to take all those new Medicaid patients.
Right.
So they were losing money on all these new Medicaid patients.
It's a mess. It was a giant gift to private insurance.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And it happened overnight at a 2 a.m. session where when everybody in the nation went to sleep thinking that we were going to wake up tomorrow and hear about how we have a historic single-payer health plan. Something that'll be funded forever because you can never unfund it. And we woke up and found out we all had a mandate to buy an expensive-ass fucking... And you remember the rollout of Obamacare?
Oh, yeah.
The website was completely and utterly inaccessible.
Well, like, the fine, too, for not getting the health insurance in a lot of cases was probably lower than what people would have had to pay. So people just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So a lot of people just stayed off of fucking healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked, guys. So that was the nail. But yeah, it was Gitmo. It was the first signs that he was a Sith Lord in disguise. Because Gitmo is not a priority when there are people being tortured in Gitmo, being held with no charges in Gitmo. And it's open and known. It's not even a conspiracy theory. These people are being tortured in there. And we don't even know why they're in there. It seems like a lot of them for no fucking reason. They were picked up during Operation Iraqi Freedom, gaffled out of their taxis, and whisked away to a Cuban fucking island. And that's still open, by the way. And those people are still in there, by the way. All these fucking years later. Nobody cares about them anymore. They're just like ghosts because there's just too much other shit burning. Oh, yeah. Obama laid the groundwork for all this ICE shit, built all these detention centers that are filling up with people, deported way more people than George W. Bush did. Way fucking more. They used to call Obama the deporter in chief. So all this ICE shit that everybody's whining about, that we were supposed to vote for the liberal to stop, all of it invented by a liberal. And look how happy they were with ICE the last time they ran. Remember Kamala parading out fucking border patrol agents and law enforcement and military and talking about how rough and tumble she was going to be on the border? These people are not your fucking friends. They're not your allies. They're not the lesser of two evils. They're an arm of the same octopus. And feeding them your votes just feeds the octopus, dumb fuck. Oh, man. Sometimes you just got to drill it into people. I don't know how else to put it to people. You okay, honey bear?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's all good. You don't gotta
I
be.
had a weird dream that woke me up.
Oh no. Something you want to share publicly or nah?
Well, like, for some reason, like, towards the end, it was just, like, me having to take out these little plastic toys over and over out of my mouth.
Plastic toys, like little dog toys, or what?
Like
Little
just
squeaky babies?
Yeah, just like, it was just like one after the other. It was just such a weird feeling.
Do you remember any context surrounding it?
It was like some kind of wedding was happening in the neighborhood, and all the kids were hanging out at my mom's house for some reason.
Okay. And then you just had to go to the bathroom or whatever, and you started pulling squeaky babies out?
It was weird.
Dude, dream interpreters go wild. No. Dreams are fucking, sometimes you're like, I think dreams are like horoscopes. I think that if you talk about the dream, you might make a mental connection with something.
Yeah.
So it's not completely meaningless, but I think it really is the garbage bin of your mind.
Yeah.
It's your mind processing weird stresses throughout the week and throughout your whole life sometimes. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's... What is lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming, I think, and I can't claim to ever have... Well, there's one time in my life I feel that I lucid dreamed, where I realized while I was dreaming, holy fuck, I'm dreaming. Boopity boop, 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 you know. And I got up to some shenanigans. I was a kid. So it was just an accidental thing. By the way, most lucid dreams happen with children, I think, according to studies. But it is possible for humans to lucid dream. But what I think it is, I think it's a form of auto-hypnosis. And I am very susceptible to auto-hypnosis, as I've found out later in my life. Well, not just auto-hypnosis, but hypnosis in general. And so I think that it's a meditative state. I think it's a brain state that you can get to if you concentrate enough. Certain people have an easier time getting there than others. I think I'm one of those. But it's kind of an altered state of consciousness where you're half conscious, but your mind is free to use the inventive tools that make dreams. So it's a partial dream state. That might be a way to talk about it. A semi-conscious dream state. Got my throat slit by Joe Pesci in a dream once. That was rough, bro. I had a dream once. I can't remember why, but I was depressed as fuck, and I was in New York, and I went to the Empire State Building, and I went up in the elevator, and I went to the top, and I jumped off of it, right? I was depressed. I was like, I want to end it all. And so I fell off the Empire State Building. I hit the ground. It didn't hurt at all. It was like landing on a pillow, but my body reacted like it was concrete. It's like, it mangled me. But I didn't feel any pain. It was like, and I got up and I was all, you know, like broken and fucked up. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went back up and jumped off again and again and again. It was like a triple fall dream where I couldn't die. And like at some point, the depression was gone because it was just fun. I was like, damn, I'm an immortal zombie, bro. Shit. Yeah, I had a lot of falling dreams when I was a kid. I used to have those falling dreams where you would fall and I would wake up like feeling like you just like hit the bed. But I don't have those. I do have them sometimes. I think I had one the other night while we were in the hotel. I remember I woke up just startled about something. And I think I was dreaming about falling off of a side of something. Sleep paralysis where it feels like you're suffocating are the worst. Yeah. I've gotten those, but those happened a lot to me in my 20s. I got 2 or 3 really bad bouts with it, with the sleep paralysis in my 20s. I haven't had one, I don't think. It's definitely been years since I had sleep paralysis. So maybe I'm done with that point in my life. But if it does happen, it'll be very unwelcome because it's a very unpleasant feeling. I know, me no likey. Yeah, Bush deported 2 million people. Obama deported about 3.1. Yeah, the deporter in chief. So, lesser of two evils vote didn't work that time, I guess. Or maybe it did. Maybe the argument is the next Republican woulda. But I'm tired of that argument.
I think I've heard one excuse that like more immigrants just come when Democrats are president.
Yeah, that's because Democrats run on being the party that's friendly to immigration. And so they deport the shit out of them. That's what those pro-immigrant votes from Mexican American citizens and Hispanic American citizens do when they give them to the Democrats. Right? The Democrats tell them your family should be welcome here. America's fucking a nation of immigrants. We should embrace the immigrant community. Please vote for us. They do. Their family comes and Obama deports them and builds fucking detention centers to separate the families so they can be processed through our system. Right? How'd that lesser of two evils work out for the Latino community? I wonder how they feel about it after all these years. Right? It's like, man, you got to give me some meat to bite into if you want me to run around supporting somebody. Because some of the support that a lot of people did of Joe Biden while he was demented and completely unaware of where he was is shameful. And it's on full display. That shit ain't gone away. And there was some shameful janitorial work for the Biden regime. Some of it ongoing. There's still this meme that libs are trying to make happen that Biden's the greatest president of our lifetime type of shit. It's like, even if that is true, what a fucking micro low bar. It's a bar a micron couldn't do the limbo under. Fuck. Man, that's about it, man. You gotta be a fucking quark or a gluon or some shit to get under that bar. You know what I mean? And I'm tired of living at that level where the bar is a demented, warmongering, old segregationist, racist piece of shit that's falling apart in front of us is the one we gotta carry water for months and years. No. Pass. Miss me with it. So, but once again, this all doubles back to what I talked about earlier. I never wanted to be taken seriously as a political commentator. That was never a part of my plan. I did the duty stain challenge. I did the dominatrix butt whipping. First one ever live on YouTube, baby. Okay? I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. I invite them to know that I'm a fucking weirdo, because I am. That's why I sit and talk to you guys so fucking much. Because I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm just a weirdo that doesn't hurt other people. You know? I'm a weirdo that lives openly as one. Just proud of it. Bro, normal people are the fucking weirdos. Yeah, man. They've got the problem, man. I think we're all kind of fucking weirdos, bro. Human beings are nothing if not fucking weird. But anyway, my phone's about to die. I've got about an hour to kill before I'm gonna do a little fucking recording and shit. So I'm gonna let you guys go. But I will see you guys. I don't know, some other time soon.